All right, welcome back to Fleccs Talks, a podcast, episode 232. Today on the show, Trump wins another showdown, this time with the country of Colombia. We'll go over the highlights there. Then, deportations are underway, and it might seem impossible to get rid of all these illegals, but there is a silver lining that could help. Then, is it smart to be transphobic? Based on recent trans crime rates, we are going to tell you why, yes, it is. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, an urban man disrespects our elders. We'll show you what happened. All this and more, it's Fleccs Talks, the podcast, episode 232, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccs Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, our country just witnessed Donald Trump overcome political persecution, an assassination attempt, and the entire deep state in order to regain the presidency in a historic victory. There's one secret ingredient that allowed Trump to do all of this, and that is testosterone. What most people don't realize is testosterone makes men willing and eager to take on challenges, but sadly, too many of us have lost our fight, and that's exactly how the globalists want us. They want us weak, out of shape, and full of microplastics and estrogen with low T. That's why we've decided to partner with Chalk. Chalk offers a whole lineup of products formulated to increase your energy, focus, detoxify your body, and clinically studied boost your testosterone. Ingredients in the Chalk Male Vitality Stack have been clinically studied to boost free testosterone by 87% in just 21 days. Unlike the gimmicky vegetable pills or powder, you will feel the difference, and they have the clinical studies to back it up. And right now, you can get 25% off of your Chalk subscription for life. Just go to chalk.com, CHOQ.com, and use promo code Fleccs. And the best part, you can cancel easily at any time. Chalk is made in America, and their all-American customer service team is standing by and ready to assist you. Let's make male vitality great again. Get your Chalk today. CHOQ.com is the website, promo code Fleccs, and you could also call them at 50-CHALK-3000. Everything is linked in the description. Thank you to Chalk for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Chalk for sponsoring.
Thank you, Chalk.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you too, Richard. We have a Tuesday episode, which is obviously different than Fridays.
Fairly.
But we have a lot of good stuff to cover, a lot of things going on, lots to get into, a lot of migrant stuff, as you could probably guess.
Yeah, we're into the meat and potatoes of migrant season. And it's a fight. Every step is a fight. So we'll get to that.
We'll definitely get to that, but let's start the show with the biggest mind-blowing story of the day. Something that none of us knew or could even have seen coming. Can you read the headline, please?
Pee Wee Herman star Paul Reubens comes out as gay in posthumous documentary. I was secretive about my sexuality.
What?
Crazy.
That guy with the bike and the breakfast machine?
The little tuxedo, the little red bow tie. That him? He was gay?
No way. He wore lipstick. What?
Holy
This is
shit.
groundbreaking stuff. And he waited until after he was dead to tell everybody.
Yeah, that little twink haircut. He had a kill switch on the posthumous book or documentary just saying, yep, I was. And that's how it should be. You were entertaining kids. I was a Pee Wee Herman kid. I watched Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, you like it?
I love that shit. And Pee Wee's Big Adventure. That was a classic movie in my house growing up.
Yeah, mine too.
So, yeah, keep your sexuality to yourself. Let this be a lesson to all the child entertainment people who are looking to acquire babies and stuff like that.
Even if you're blatantly gay.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We know, buddy.
We know, Pee Wee.
We just like the goofy. Yeah.
I know. It was funny, dude. And you know what? Actually, not to get too off the rails here, people don't even know what entertains kids. Back then, they were like, wow, kids seem to love this guy. Now they have like a scientific model. Remember we covered on the show where it's like kids took their eyes away off the screen at that moment. you know, back then it was just like kind of a weird guy who caught their attention.
And he rides his bike and he has his legs out. He went crazy for his bike.
Back then you had to have actual talent. Now it's computerized.
Now it's computerized child casino shows.
Exactly.
All right. Let's get into some of our stories. We're obviously going to be full of politics this episode. This one I thought was a great tweet that sums up Trump's new term. Can you give it a read?
Yeah, the Trump White House is, quote, hell-bent on running a more functional, efficient operation than Trump's first term, from Axios. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and other aides have clamped down on the ability of random friends and reporters to call Trump directly. It's a total black box. Nothing is leaking except what they want.
That's good.
I love that. And Trump is that kind of guy who'll just be like, yeah, Mike, you want to talk? Sure. Yeah. After a long day, he's ripping Diet Cokes. So
yeah. And that's like, you know, obviously the 2020 election was stolen, and that has a lot of the negative things that we're going to be dealing with for a long time, especially with immigration.
Yeah.
But one of the positives is less explaining to do.
Exactly. And I don't think Trump would be as aggressive or as much of a menace as he is right now if it had just continued after his first term.
Exactly.
It would be one long extended thing, no breaks. Now it's a completely different animal.
Now we can just tell people to fuck off. We're doing what we want.
Exhibit A, Colombia, which we'll get to.
Yep. Our next story, Trump a few days ago was talking about Anthony Fauci and how he's revoking his security privileges, and people are getting mad about that. But look how he handled the interaction.
Would you feel partially responsible if something were to happen to, say, Dr. Fauci?
No. You know, they all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too. All the people you're talking about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. They're asking, would you feel responsible if something happened to Anthony Fauci? The guy's got like $50 million.
Yeah, he's old. He's on his own, and he already got the pardon. We're supposed to provide security until he dies?
Yeah, he got the pardon for all the medical advice he gave. And now what? He got his security revoked? You can figure it out, buddy.
Also, one of those short type of guys, those short old guys who end up living to 100. What are we going to pay for security for 20 years for Fauci?
Pass.
All
right, let's get into our immigration section, which is going to be obviously a long one.
Yeah.
Our first clip is our military at the southern border. Look at that.
That's some prime aircraft right there.
That's what I like to see.
What do they call those? AC-130 type stuff? I don't
Something
even know.
like that.
I need to get more familiar with the aircraft now that they're active at the southern border.
Yeah.
When they were in Afghanistan, I didn't care that much.
Yeah.
Now that they're here.
But doesn't it feel so much better to have our military doing stuff like that, like actually defending the country instead of being in some random war fighting over poppy fields or whatever?
We're already paying them. Everybody gets a paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever it is for the military. We're going to pay their pensions. Might as well put them to work on the homeland.
Yeah. Makes me more confident in the military budget if they're actually working domestically.
100%.
All right. Tom Homan's been doing some media rounds. We're going to get to some clips of his later, but he did an interview with this woman, and listen to how he handles the media.
I want to go back to those military flights going south. As you said, we have never seen that before. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes. But you're going to see the numbers steadily increase.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table.
That's what I like to hear. Tom Homan just goes, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. If you're here illegally, you're illegal. You don't need to explain it to the ABC woman reporter. The election already happened, right?
And they're not looking for honesty. They're not looking to represent you honestly. They just want to make you look bad. So just say, yeah, everyone's going back. You crossed here illegally, you're done.
It's actually pretty simple. It makes it really simple. And we're going to get into it, the increase and the criminals going first. But I haven't seen any signs that we're going to stop or any sort of weakness or wavering, which is good.
Yep. And then this next clip is a clip from Home Depot. There's a lot of clips going around showing empty stores now that allegedly the illegals are concerned about ICE and getting deported. So a lot of their daily go-to stores are now empty. This is what the Home Depot in Chicago looks like. And it just looks completely abandoned.
Yeah, empty.
But that's what it should look like. You ever walk into a Home Depot or a Walmart and you feel like you're in a different country?
All the time.
It's because you were.
Yeah, you were. And you were in another country that was brought to you. And it shouldn't have been, right?
Yeah, you didn't take a trip.
Here's another empty Walmart, and we'll play it in the background, but same thing. And obviously, if you go to the counties or the areas where the illegal immigration is higher, it gets a lot more drastic, right?
Yep.
Remember clean and orderly? That was only like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? People like us who actually remember what it was like. Some kids are growing up now and they're just like, that's just what Walmart is. We're a big melting pot. It's like, no, that guy, I recognize him. He looks Guatemalan. This guy looks like he's from El Salvador. It used to be nice. It used to be nice.
That's what they took from us. And they want us to forget. Yeah. So the first day of deportations was about 300 and something people getting deported.
Yep.
And then now it says Trump administration has directed ICE officials to ramp up arrests to at least 1,200 to 1,500 per day because President Trump is disappointed with the results so far.
And that's exactly what we said.
So were we.
Yeah. It's going to take us a little time to get into our groove on this. That number's still a little low.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some of the things like the Home Depot, the people are kind of on their heels. The people who aren't supposed to be here are a little scared. And I think self-deportations along with these are kind of going to go up as well.
I think so too. And it is kind of daunting when you realize how many people are here illegally. Like, I think it's about 50 million.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to deport those at like 1,500 per day, you do the math and it takes like 1,000 years.
It's like J.D. Vance's second term. We're going to be finished. That's like not good enough, you know?
Yeah, hopefully too. Like that still is it very much is a huge number, how long it would take. Yeah. But there is a bright side, as we mentioned in the intro. When you do deportations like this and you start cracking down, there are people that naturally self-deport, and this is something that's happened in the past as well. Can you read this breakdown?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to actually read it because this is just a grok thing, but basically it's going over the rate of people who self-deport during times of federal government crackdowns, and one of the famous ones was Operation Wetback, and I think that was in 1954. Yeah, you can say it. You can say it. It was the name of the operation, guys. I think it became a slur after. I don't actually know the history. But that one, and it's interesting because we haven't had that many mass deportation events, and then the data is obviously very shaky, but there does exist a ratio. When the government's cracking down and people are fleeing, people will self-deport and go back. They're like, it's not worth it. I'm on my heels all day. I can't work a job safely anymore. And so, some guy who's living in, Missouri and he's got a DUI from 3 years ago and he knows they're going after criminals first is going to be like, well, do I want to go back to Mexico with my pickup truck and my apartment full of stuff? Or do I want to wait until Tom Homan stuffs me on a plane?
And just arrests you in the clothes you're wearing and sends you back and abandons your apartment.
Exactly. So the sad part of that, the sad part of it is like the data is very sparse and we don't actually know what that ratio is, but anybody who's educated enough to make a guess knows that that ratio does exist. And we've seen some footage of people at the southern border headed back, fully packed cars, things like that.
Yep, here's someone now heading back to Mexico with all the things they accumulated.
Yeah, there's your bike. There's your bike. It's stolen.
Wow.
But yeah, that guy, I don't know if that guy's moving. That guy might be a reseller of some kind, but there has been increased activity at the border of fully packed cars.
You go back to Mexico with all the things you collected. You got bikes, you got some furniture, a grill. You made out.
Yeah. Do you want to have to buy all your clothes again in Mexico after Tom Homan handcuffs you and puts you on the plane? No.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Time to head back with your winnings, whatever you collect.
Whatever coins you gained from the system. Yeah, and then that's the thing too. It's family members, people who are like, oh, we'll just go start over, or like dad can't find work. Those kind of like pressures, those external pressures that just get someone to kind of go back to where they grew up, you know?
Exactly. And that's the thing. We're not sending people to Siberia.
Yeah.
We're sending them to where they've spent their entire life up until like 6 months ago.
Where everybody looks like them. They're all countrymen. They all speak the same language. They just don't have jobs in Walmarts waiting for them.
And if you have problems in your country, you should work with your buddies to fix it.
I know. We don't want to take your most able-bodied builders, your most able-bodied craftsmen, and just have them building McMansions in Missouri.
Exactly.
We want them in Oaxaca. We want them back.
Exactly. They can use them. You guys are beneficial. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to our deportation so far, we've been obviously sending people back to Mexico and other countries. There was a story initially that Mexico refuses to accept U.S. deportation flight. People were making it seem, or the media was making it seem like that Mexico was pushing back and standing tall and going against Trump. But Tammy Bruce kind of summed up what really happened there. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, she said the fake news is already lying about our successful partnership with Mexico, helping to make our region safe again. The truth is, 4 ICE flights arrived in Mexico yesterday. 2 military flights were sent to Guatemala because they were filled with Guatemalans. 2,000 aliens were deported to Mexico yesterday alone by land and air. As Remain in Mexico was re-implemented, promises made, promises kept.
That's what really happened.
Yeah, and they're trying to make it seem, the news media is trying to make it seem like it's a clusterfuck, as if we can't handle getting people out of here on planes, and we don't talk to the countries who we do a lot of business with already. And it's all a farce, you know?
Yeah, and then someone had a tweet that was pretty funny. He said, Mexican government is like, fuck, how do we deal with all these Mexicans?
It's crazy, dude. It's
What do we
crazy.
do?
Yeah,
Well,
how do you think we dealt with all of them?
Yeah.
Public schools, like social services?
Just put them in a hotel. Yeah. Put them in a hotel.
You guys saved a lot of money, so you put them in a hotel, all right?
Put them in a hotel, give them $500 debit card, 3 meals a day, and send them to your schools.
It's easy. The Catholic Charities, they should want to help, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then everyone's kind of like feeling bad. You know, Selena Gomez was crying. Oh, we're sending all these people back, as if there's not fun things to do in Mexico. Look at this. There you go. There's stuff to do.
You guys have a life. Come on.
You got the rope. You throw it on the horse's leg.
Dude.
You slide around with it. You guys got stuff.
What do they call those? They call those rancheros or something?
Yeah,
What do they call them?
rancheros. You go
Cowboy?
be a ranchero. You go in the audience if you want. You don't have to be the guy with the rope.
Yeah, you can just watch, drink cerveza.
There's
fun.
stuff to do. There's stuff to do back in Mexico.
That's what I'm saying.
This looks like fun.
You're going home. That's where you're from. It's home.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And our next story, speaking of illegals, some more. This guy tweeted, I'm told 40% of the students in Fort Worth ISD are illegal aliens.
Yeah, so, and this is from an article that said Fort Worth Independent School District investigating substitute teacher after social media post called on ICE to come to Northside High School. And the substitute teacher had specifically said that he estimated a bunch of the students couldn't speak English and were literally communicating to the teachers through translator apps on an iPhone.
You get a lot of work done that way.
What are you learning? What are you learning? It's all in English. So up to 40%, I don't know. That seems high, but it wouldn't shock me.
Even if it's close.
Yeah.
Imagine how much money that school district saves. Imagine how much your kid's schooling improves when half the students who don't speak English just up and disappear one day.
Imagine how much farther your property tax dollars go, which fund all of the education in the area. You know, it's just like keeping it in our self-regulated system instead of donating it to people who aren't even really trying to learn, right?
Exactly.
And I want to make a prediction too, because the silver lining and whatever that we talked about, where self-deportation, the numbers are going up and it's trending in the right direction. It seems to me, based on everything, there was another miscommunication where, you know, exactly like the media said, Mexico refuses to take flights. The media was also trying to make a big deal out of federal agents coming into a school in the south side of Chicago. That turned out to be Secret Service agents because the kid had made some sort of threat. They were turned away. But I think schools is where the left is going to make their stand, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the red line. That's going to be the kids in cages, the you can't go to schools. And it's like, well, if the kid's using an iPhone app to talk to the teacher, somebody needs to go into the school.
Yeah, you can't go into the school, but we'll deport his parents and he'll go home and have the house to himself.
Exactly.
So see how that works.
But I mean, that's my prediction. That's going to be the left. Their screeching red line moment is all going to be about students in schools. And it's like these students in schools who aren't even getting anything out of it. Because if they can barely speak English, it's not helping anyone, right?
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Chicago, is it JD or JB? JB Pritzker. He says that he'll stand in the way of deportation efforts that cross the line.
Yep, and he's a giant fat motherfucker, so he might be he might stop us.
Someone said he'll be a huge obstacle.
I believe him.
Which is very true. All right, let's get into our Colombia section. It's been a few days, so we're only going to cover the highlights. But the initial Trump post that set this whole thing off with all the threats, can you read the threats if Colombia didn't take back the illegals that we were sending?
Yeah, so 2 repatriation flights were not allowed to land in Colombia, and Trump was on the golf course and sent out this banger where he threatened Colombia With emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States, in 1 week, the 25% tariffs will be raised to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations of the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. IEEPA, Treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. And then Trump goes on to say, these measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations in regards to these illegals.
Exactly. So these countries need to do whatever we say, or we'll wreck their shit. Like, I don't care about Colombia.
Yeah. Where is it even on the map? I don't know. Somewhere around here? Yeah.
And everyone says,
Turn
like,
around the flights.
Yeah, exactly.
Take 'em.
Everyone says, oh, Colombia is so great and we're so mean for doing this. Well, that's where we're sending the people.
Yeah.
So if Colombia is so great, enjoy. You guys are lucky.
Yeah. Have fun. That should be great for you.
Colombia's great. So much better than us, right?
Again, when I was in college, I loved to go home. I'd go, oh, I haven't been home in so long. It was like a cheerful feeling. These people act like we're doing some medieval torture technique on them. I can't reiterate that enough.
You had a nice vacation.
Yeah.
You got some free stuff. You drank some cervezas, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's time to go back. Can you read what Matt Gaetz said during this showdown?
He said, don't fuck with us on this, dude. This is to the president. You will be taking your criminals back the easy way or the hard way. This is not the fight with America you want. We want friendly relations with our neighbors, but friends don't leave their own shit in each other's homes.
That's a good point.
Sounds like something we would say.
Yeah, maybe he's a show watcher. Yeah. And then there was some headlines about, Colombia supplies 17% of U.S. coffee imports and is the largest source of cut flowers with Valentine's Day 18 days away.
The leftists, ooh, no, we need those flowers and the coffee. Well, let's give up our sovereignty. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find places to get flowers, and then 1 in 7 people can get coffee wherever the other 6 people get their coffee from.
Sounds like a deal.
I think I solved it.
Do we still have a country?
Yeah.
We do.
I think I solved it.
That's crazy.
And then Harry Sisson, one of the Democrat twinks.
Yeah.
Can you read what he tweeted about this Trump showdown?
He said, Trump just announced huge penalties on Colombia. Everything just got more expensive for you and your family. Oh, so now they care. There are diplomatic ways to work with countries, but instead, Trump does crap like this.
How did that one age, Harry?
Poorly. I believe
like 6 hours,
I
too.
believe Colombia bent the knee a mere hours later.
It's like usually with the Harry Sisson tweets, after a few months or, next year, you go back and it's a funny one. That tweet in 6 hours
Same
was
day.
completely useless.
Yeah, quicker than Amazon, dude. Same day delivery.
Humiliating. And then, like we said, immediately Colombia folded. And can you kind of read the response there?
Yeah, the Colombia president just issued a response to President Trump. The Colombian government, under the leadership of President Gustavo Petro, has arranged for the presidential plane to facilitate the dignified return of the compatriots who were to arrive in the country this morning from deportation flights. And I believe the president of Colombia kind of saved face a little bit by saying, like, we don't want them handcuffed or we want them...
They were trying to one-up Trump and win somehow. So they go, we'll send the presidential plane for the illegal gang member, rapist, murderers that you're sending back to us.
Exactly.
We'll treat them with some dignity.
It was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we're bending the knee, but let me get the last word in, basically.
Yeah.
Like arguing with a little kid.
Mm-hmm. And they immediately folded. It wasn't even close. They immediately folded, and then
it's Colombia, and we're the U.S. We're the world superpower, and they're one of the many Latin American countries. This isn't hard. Like, you do what we tell you, or there's consequences. And for some reason, nobody's ever done that, or nobody does it like Trump. It just seems so stupid to me, right?
Me too.
You thought you were going to get away with it? You thought, oh, the planes are back. Well, we'll just handle these Colombians. I guess they're Americans now.
And then you
short-sighted.
It's very short-sighted because you do it in a way like on social media and you're fighting back publicly. And then we can just go over the top and just ruin your country's life. Like we can say they did a 3 out of 10 pushback.
Yeah.
We can come over the top and do 10 out of 10 and go, okay, 50% tariff on all your imports. It'll ruin your country. Now you're going to do what we said.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have even gone down this road in the first place.
Exactly.
And then the Colombian president, we later found out, is having an affair with a trans person.
Yeah, married Colombian President Gustavo Petro says he's not gay after he is seen in Panama with trans woman Linda Yepes. Trans woman Linda Yepes.
Linda! Oh, that's pretty good. There's a video of them walking together, him and his girlfriend.
So he's not gay. Pee Wee Herman is gay. That's what we're learning.
We learned a lot so far in this episode. And then Trump ended the debate with Colombia and their back and forth by posting a fuck around and find out picture of him in a henchman outfit.
Yep.
Maybe that's the boss's outfit.
Yeah, that's the boss's outfit. That's an old school boss outfit, but it is henchman maxing still.
Yeah.
I want to read this tweet just because this is kind of some of the energy that we were talking about for the theme of this Colombia scuffle. This guy, random guy, doesn't really matter. He said, diplomacy based on coercion reflects power, but not leadership. True diplomatic mastery lies in fostering mutual respect and cooperation, not wielding economic threats. Long-term solutions come from partnerships, not forced capitulation.
Well, you can use those lessons on the country you lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you get it.
Muhammad? I don't know who you are, Muhammad.
Yeah, you could use that advice on yourself and lead your own country to however you want, with respect.
Yeah, with respect, brother. Assalam. But these people, it's the carrot or the stick thing. We've been trying the carrot for the last every year that Trump hasn't been in power since I've been alive, right? And now it's time for some stick. We got a little too over our skis with how you guys treated us and how you thought you could kind of leech off us and take our jobs and kind of offshore our manufacturing. Mexico, certain countries.
Gave too many carrots away.
We gave away too many carrots, and like you see how quick the stick worked? Harry Sisson didn't even have time to delete his tweet before we screenshotted it. So
exactly.
It's just there's always going to be people who want to like kind of chirp in on what the best way to do foreign policy or international relations is. And I think the best way to do it is what works.
Yeah.
And that just worked, right?
Exactly. And a lot of times what works is like what we've been doing, but then you zoom out and what we've been doing hasn't worked. So we don't need to be political or politically correct or diplomatic.
Yeah.
Diplomatic.
Let's read this one. Scaramucci had something similar, a tweet. He's a big anti-Trump guy after he had the 16 days as the press secretary or whatever. He goes, we're about to break something, in parentheses, our relationship with the rest of the world that took 80 years to cultivate.
Yeah, everyone was just milking us at every level.
We're getting so ripped off. Have you seen how much money we send to everyone and then Colombia's turning our planes around? I don't think so, brother.
I don't think so.
Those
days are done.
We don't take advice from people like that anymore.
Yep, and then listen to this next person. Yeah, let's let it play. I'm not going to really intro it.
We came here because she wanted a better life for us. She wanted a better education for us. She wanted for us to have a better future. And now this is all going to be taken away because of him. Because of that stupid, oh my God, stupid fucking felon. He's a felon. He's a villain. He's a felon. I don't want him here anymore. I can't. I'm not coming back. I'm never coming back here until he leaves the house. He's ruining my life, her life, and the life of every single immigrant in this country.
It's like listening to classical music or something.
I know.
It just like hits the soul and kind of just puts you in a spot. Feels good.
Yeah. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. Free ride forever? You couldn't read the tea leaves on the political winds? This was kind of the biggest talking point about Republicans for the last 10 years at this point? Ever since 2016 at least, right?
And all they talked about was like trans people.
Yeah, abortion. They really loved that. And then you're like reading it and you're watching the argument and you go, well, the abortion people aren't arguing that good. The immigration people seem to be rocking. Trump almost got assassinated. Wow, that was a spike in the polls. Maybe I should mentally prepare myself for this. Nope, didn't cry on camera.
Cry on camera, caught you. Music for us. We have an ICE number here to report suspicious activity and to report a crime. It's on screen, so if you guys want to do that, use referral code FLECCS. So I get a little kickback for everyone who gets deported.
Oh, I wish.
I
wish there was a pyramid scheme deportation hotline.
We really could do a good job with that.
I know.
There's so many illegals to report. You know where they're at. We see them every day.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to go through who I thought about, like who I see, and I don't really, I don't really see that many. And then we're in Florida. It's one of the better run immigration
Green
states.
Jean-Pierre?
Yeah, that's not really who. Yeah,
what about the Supreme Court Justice? Ketanji
Brown
Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
All right, whatever.
I thought we're just deporting people we don't want here anymore. All right, we're moving on now to our next segment. We're kind of out of our immigration section.
All right, let's go over the lessons we learned, though.
Yep.
Voluntary deportations. All right. Actual deportations are trending up and they need to go higher. Voluntary deportations, we can't forget about those. They exist and we don't know what the ratio is. The data is very thin. Schools. That's Democrats' last stand. Those are, I think, the 3 big lessons of immigration this week.
Yeah.
And then Trump doing the threats to Colombia, that was an exercise. That was a fuck around and find out, as he posted, for everybody, for every one of you. Panama, you were thinking about getting out of line? Take a look.
Exactly. For every one country you have that type of interaction with, there's 10 countries that don't try you now.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. We are now into the final page of housekeeping, believe it or not, where I can talk about whatever I want. Use this opportunity to tickle the posts, help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping about what you want to yap about. P.O. Box needs to be full, and notifications need to be on, and old episodes need to be watched.
Smart.
That was a smooth one.
Are you going to add anything going forward? Old episodes need to be watched. That's new, kind of.
That's
right?
true, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If you ever look at an episode, like look at our YouTube, and you can go through and see how many views it gets. And then if there's ever one that seems like an outlier, it probably got like copywritten or restricted or age restricted or whatever. Always watch those. It helps us, you know? All right, this is my page of housekeeping, which is going to be kind of random stuff. But I found this thing online called the Bernoulli's Principle for putting fires out. Look how this guy puts out a fire. He climbs up, big fire, right? He just puts this little hose hook in. And then he kind of sprays half in, half out, but not even attacking the fire, like mostly sprays out.
Yeah.
And it just sucks the fire off.
Sucks the fire off like Pee Wee Herman?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, right?
That's Bernoulli's Principle. You should have learned that in any sort of physics class, I believe.
No one ever heard of that.
I'm sure that was on a test you literally took in high school or college at some point.
And I probably got a B-.
Yeah, you probably skated by.
But can you just explain it in the first paragraph?
Somebody says Bernoulli's Principle, named after the Swiss mathematician Daniel Bernoulli, is a key concept in fluid dynamics that relates pressure, speed, and height. The principle states that an increase in the speed of a fluid occurs simultaneously with a decrease in static pressure or the fluid's potential energy. This principle is based on the conservation of energy and can be applied to both liquids and gases. It's a fundamental concept in various engineering applications, including aerodynamics, where it helps explain the lift generated by an airplane wing. In essence, Bernoulli's principle says that when a fluid flows faster, it has a lower pressure, and when it flows slower, it has a higher pressure. This principle is the reason why airplane wings are shaped the way they are. The upper surface is curved, causing the air to flow faster over the top, creating a low-pressure region, while the air flows slower under the wing, creating a high-pressure region. The difference in pressure creates an upward force or lift in the wing.
And put the fire out fast.
Yeah.
Fluid dynamics.
I know. You're not, it's like you made me read all that. You're never going to remember it.
But fluid dynamics.
Yeah.
That's something.
Definitely.
You don't get that on every show.
It's not really what our show's about, though. We just
But page 4, we're allowed.
All right.
All right. Next, someone was farting on an airplane.
Whoever is farting, don't fart, please. It smells bad.
Whoever's farting, don't fart, please. It smells bad.
In an Indian voice.
In an Indian
So someone
voice.
must have been gassing that place.
I think that guy may have blamed it, flamed it type thing.
The call was coming from inside the house. Yeah. That was his get away from it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next is a little mini section within our final page of housekeeping, which we might keep going forward. Someone messaged me a funny wordplay. You know, Fleccs. People call me Fleccs, like Fleccs. And they call this section the Weird Fleccs section. Like, oh, Weird Fleccs.
All right.
So
get on with it.
This guy I found, he's one of my pets, people with entertaining talents, online. I believe he lives in like Ukraine or Russia or somewhere in Eastern Europe. And he calls himself Simple Man, and he does messages showing you how simple life actually should be.
Ігорчик Доценко, Simple Man. Listen to the silence. Cool water.
It's cold water, you know?
Okay, all right.
And then this next clip is him and his mom.
Man and my mother, I love cool water. Simple man. Yes.
See?
I'm noticing a theme. He likes cool water. Okay.
Simple man, cold water, family, silence.
Yeah.
No one's trying to sell you a $4,200 car salesman course.
So true.
And there's another clip. I haven't seen this one.
Друзі, всім привіт. Зробив власний бренд.
He's got merch.
Nah, never mind. He's got merch. They got to Simple Man that fast. I was like, oh, this guy is great. He does like cold plunges, hangs out with his family. He appreciates silence. He has a wife. He's just enjoying nature. And then he's trying to sell us a fucking hat.
Yeah. This guy has a phenotype that is destined to die on the front lines of a war with Germany. Is what I see.
That does look like someone
in a trench.
In a trench.
Bayoneted in the heart.
Hundreds of thousands of them in a trench somewhere.
That's kind of his destiny.
Unfortunately.
But hey, it means times are good if he's not dying in a trench versus Germany.
He used to be a simple man, go in the water
There you go.
with my mother. And then buy his merch. There's probably an affiliate link or something. Not good. All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe of the Week is Harry Sisson and one of his...
Twink associates?
Twink associates. That's a good way to put it. They're doing a live stream debating a right-wing person who is defending Elon after he was accused of doing a Roman salute, a Nazi salute, at a recent rally. And look what happens here.
No, put down your phone.
Grab his heart.
Yo! Dude! What the fuck?
Dude! My God, no! No, dude, you are cooked. You are cooked, bro. You're so cooked.
Which part was cooked about that?
Dude,
wait.
literally just nailed it.
Put down your phone. Put down your phone.
You're so cooked. You see the guy in the top right freaking out and going like this?
He did a no-no. He did a no-no thing. He was kind of like what Hitler did one time.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, Harry Sisson, what happens when you read the N-word? Do you say it in your head?
Oh, I read it in my brain and then I kind of say it out loud because I mouth out my words and, oh no, I said the N-word.
Oh, you're cooked, bro. Yeah. You read it in your head out loud.
So what's the point? Like, this is all they have now? Like gotcha moments and like they're not in charge of policy, so it's kind of like policing in the gayest way possible, policing the internet in some way?
Policing the internet, and as long as their opponent is against them, like right-wing people, then it's like, oh, you raised your hand a certain way? Let's try to ruin your life and to have the worst possible interpretation of what you did and attribute it to being a Nazi. You're a Nazi now, guy doing a live stream in your basement.
So the goal is for the Harry Sisson types is you can't even have a conversation about the nuances of something because it's such a no-no that they have to freak out and make soy jack faces at it, right?
Yeah, you're cooked, bro. You're cooked. That's literally all they have. And you have to like give the worst possible motives and pretend. You have to live and pretend and then try to ruin someone's life over it.
And that's why Tom Homan just says, yes. Are you going to deport everybody who's illegal? Yes. You don't talk to people like this anymore. That's kind of the point, right? Yeah. It's like, why would you even have a talk with someone who can't be rational or who can't kind of like have a discussion? And the answer is you wouldn't. You wouldn't talk to someone like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then this next guy did something similar.
Same vein.
He's trying to find dog whistles within messages presented by Elon Musk.
Elon Musk's salute was absolutely what you think it was, because it was followed by both a Nazi and a white supremacist dog whistle in quick succession. Both the Nazi Party and white supremacist organizations are very notoriously into numerology, symbolism, and hidden meanings, which makes sense because, much like Elon, the Austrian painter was very likely also extremely autistic. For example, if you're a white person who lives in the South and have ever had the bizarre experience of somebody randomly walking up to you and asking if you know Mr. Ayak, Ayak is an acronym for Are You a Klansman? And if you are expected to respond with Akim, or A Klansman I Am. They call it the Invisible Empire for a reason. So, if we chronologically assign a number to the first letter of every word in My Heart Goes Out to You, we get 13 plus 8 plus 7 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25, which equals 88. 88 is the most important numerical symbol in Nazi history because it translates to letter H, which represents the phrase Heil Hiatl
fuck. He found out about the letter counting secret numbers Nazi thing.
Elon, abort. He found out about the secret code. This twink found out about the secret code. And he can't even say it. Because he's too scared or something at the end.
Oh, so yeah, he really caught us. And then this next thing I was gonna say about like him calling us Nazis and the names he calls us, I was gonna say Nazis isn't gonna get everyone riled, but now I'm afraid he might crack that one too.
He might start taking the first letter out of Nazis isn't gonna get everyone. What?
Nazis isn't gonna get everyone riled.
No.
What is that?
You're cooked.
What does that spell?
You're cooked, bro. And then again, like this whole thing, it's like he's talking to his audience about these assumptions. And it's like, these are the people who believe in sundown towns in America in 2025 now. Sundown towns. And it's, hey, are you Mr. Hayek? Yeah, I'm a Klansman
we
too,
all
brother.
are.
Everybody is. Turn around. Debbie's a Klansman too. Like, these guys are living in such a crazy world where if you believe all that, then yeah, why wouldn't you start counting the numbers in Elon's speech? Why wouldn't you?
You can find something.
Yeah, and if you can't, you can start adding and subtracting them. I guarantee you'll find something, right?
Adding and subtracting. Yeah. And then if you have like 24, it's actually 2 and 4. And then 2 plus 4 is 6.
Split that up.
And then 666.
Holy shit.
I think we cracked it. All right, next we're going to get into a little bit of a TRAMS section. Mr. Sir, is that what we call him?
Yeah, Lily, Mr. Sir.
Lily, that's the name I was thinking of. Well, Lily is getting some operations done to make him look more like a lady.
My face is about to change. Commonly referred to as FFS, facial feminization surgery is the process of making one's face more traditionally feminine. Mine will consist of 5 parts. Number 1 is my hairline. You can see it's kind of pushed back a little bit. They're going to pull it forward. Number 2, my brow bone. You can see how it's kind of protruding a little bit. They are going to shave it down so it protrudes less. Number 3 is my nose. You can see that it curves out a little bit. That's a traditionally masculine feature. We want it to push in a little bit, so they're going to shave it down. Number 4 is my jawline. Now, y'all know the meme, the traditionally chiseled male jaw. I kind of have one of those jaws, so they're going to shave it down just like my nose and my brow to give my face a softer, more feminine appearance. 5th and final is an obvious one, the Adam's apple. They are going to shave this down as well. Now, this won't affect my voice at all. At most, I will have a sore throat for a couple of days. According to my surgeon, the surgery will take up to 7 hours. I will stay overnight.
Let's cut the video, but he does go on to say that recovery time is 6 to 8 months.
Oh, we might be missing him for a little bit.
I know. Nobody's going to be calling him sir at the restaurant anymore.
Injured reserve. Yeah. But this is weird because we were always told by types like this, and I think literally this person, that there's no such thing as feminine, and there's no feminine, there's no masculine. It's just everything's interconnected, and if you're this, you're that, and you be whatever you want. I thought femininity was just like a social construct.
Yeah, pink. Pink is genderless. Nothing matters. So your big square jaw and your strong brows and your nose, that's a lady.
Anyone can be a woman. Anyone can be a man. They come in all these different shapes and sizes. But now that I'm a lady, I want to start looking like a real lady. And it's a little revealing when you start talking like that.
Yeah, I need a little button nose that goes in and just shave the Adam's apple down. 5 surgeries, probably extremely expensive. The thing is, this is kind of like resume builder for whatever doctor is taking this on. If you can take Mr. Sir, the guy who gets called sir everywhere he goes and fights about it, into a lady, you might have business for the next 20 years of all these trans freaks, especially after the military stops paying for it.
Ooh, you'll be top chef.
You'll be top chef. It's a resume builder.
Yeah.
So like if I was this doctor, I'd go hard on this and really try to make it work.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And then you can...
And then you'll go to jail, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then you can build a resume, and then we can try you later for crimes against humanity.
Yeah, you will be tried at The Hague.
I saw an article that was interesting. It said, number of children who think they are wrong gender surges 50-fold.
Yeah, sharp rise in girls suffering dysphoria with twice as many cases as boys in study of GP records in England shows.
Yeah, this is from the UK. So, but it's still very interesting.
So girls are falling for it more.
Girls are starting to fall for it more.
They want to be a little Mikey. They want to be a little boy.
Mm-hmm. And then this next meme was pretty funny. This is like a Hinge prompt. Like, my most controversial opinion is pineapple on pizza. And then someone replies to that and said, mine's about trans people. Probably not going to work out.
Yeah, maybe. But if it does, you found a pretty good one, right?
Exactly. If you get past that in the opening stages, you'll either have a great one or you'll know to not have to waste your time anymore on a Muppet.
Absolutely.
All right, our last piece of cringe is the trans crime rate. We talked about the rate of trans people in the military, which is really high, and that kind of blew our mind. And this week, we're going to be talking about the trans crime rate, which will actually blow our mind even more.
Well, this is in federal prison, the rate of trans people in federal prison. And like 2 weeks ago, we had discussed the trans prison population in England.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a proxy for us. But this was from a New York Times article that said transgender people make up less than 1% of adults in the United States, according to the Williams Institute, a research center at the University of California, Los Angeles law school that studies the LGBTQ population. It is unclear why the number is so high in federal prisons, and the number in federal prison is 15%. So 15% of women in prison are transgender.
They're like 1 in 7 people?
Basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
And, that's on us. That's on our weak society, right? Because, whoa, this guy's fucking tough. That guy's demanding my ramen noodles, and this guy wants to knife me. I just saw someone get beat up. Maybe I am a lady, where I'm in the top 1% strength of all the inmates. But soon it's going to become this thing where you're even getting beat up in the women's prison. Even if you're a gay, like a little weak man, you could still get beat up in the women's prison.
Yeah,
other men were like, we got here first, bitch.
Exactly. You might think you're like sneaking around, like, oh, I'm a man, I'm going to get put in the women's prison, ha. And then... yeah, half the people there are already men, and they're going to fuck you up.
Welcome to the club, brother, they all say.
Yeah, it's not that fun anymore.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on now to Urban Decay. Our first clip of Urban Decay is this sad old woman who can barely walk, and she's trying to cross 4 lanes of New York City traffic. And look how she's treated by the guy she's in front of in his car.
Not to be on my car, though. Get off my car! Hold on, man. How you doing?
I'm okay.
You was touching my car.
Did I hurt it?
No, you didn't hurt it. I was just wondering why you was...
Because I can't walk right.
Oh, I'm sorry about it. It's not a problem, but you did touch my car.
I'm still touching it.
Oh.
But I'll stop.
No, you good. Damn. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So I don't have much to say about this. I just wrote N-word.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I think that about sums it up. I mean, as a society, like, who do we look after, right? What's a sign of a healthy society? Looking after the elderly and babies, being nice to waiters, not being a dick to service people, right?
Yeah.
There's a few very simple things. And then this guy who's clearly a black guy, Uber driver.
Yeah, is it a new Bugatti? No, you're driving an Uber.
Did she smudge your Maybach? No, you're an Uber. You're gonna pick up someone who might even like disrespect you in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a nice old lady who's like clearly having trouble, and his first instinct is to film. And I think a part of it is racial.
It is.
If this was a nice old black lady, he'd be like, "Oh, auntie, you're good. Take your time." But it's a white lady, and then there's kind of like no kinship. There's no that's my countryman in him. And it makes me a little uneasy. But then again, I think that's just reality. And, we've often bring up the stats on the show about how white people rate all other races and how like Mexicans show in-group preference at a higher rate. Black people show in-group preference at a way higher rate. And then white people are kind of pretty fair. We've shown that chart a bunch of times before. And it's just something to keep in mind, right? When it's time to pick grandpa's caretaker. Maybe the old Polish woman is a little better than the woman from
Jamaica,
Trinidad and Tobago, or whatever. So
exactly.
It's just something you notice, and it's not damning. He doesn't do anything too bad, but he's filming and uploading it and thinks he's like, what kind of right? Oh, it's crazy she's touching my car.
And imagine uploading it, not realizing that you probably would or should get a bunch of people saying, "What's your problem?" But he uploaded it because he thought the atmosphere he was uploading into would be supportive of how he was treating that woman.
Exactly. So there's no governor on his own self-reflection of the incident, right?
Yeah. So maybe our racist ancestors had a point.
I think it's just something we're the whole point of the show is enjoy reality. We're reality enjoyers. And I think some people just have a little different, They have a different thing. They see some like mean old lady there instead of like some woman who's like should be protected and kind of
can't walk.
Yeah.
And is probably leaving the house for the once a week to go do something.
Pick up the medicine for my dog or whatever she's up to is like clearly something necessary, right?
Exactly. Very low trust society shit. And I'm trying to combat that in my own life by living like in a high trust way. Like there's multiple timelines we can choose to live on. Obviously, we're in a low trust society at the moment because of how things got. But we can live in the high trust society ways. Over the weekend, I participated in a high trust society thing.
Yeah, you can find the pockets.
I found a pocket over the weekend. I bought a couch online, and the group, like the people I bought it from, was like the so-and-so family business or furniture business or whatever. And I messaged them, and I think they had like a Christian thing in one of their profile pictures, like a cross.
Yeah.
So I knew I was talking to good people, and I wasn't home when they were coming for the delivery on Sunday morning. So I just said, hey, the garage is open. Please put the couch in the garage when you get there. I already sent you the money.
Wow.
And that's high trust shit. Because you would maybe, if you were a scumbag or the guy driving that car, you might go, oh, you already sent me the money. I'm just going to block him on the app and I'll sell the couch again and I'll make double. Or he already sent the money. We don't have to go drive from Tampa to St. Pete to deliver it. This guy already sent the money.
Yeah.
But instead, I sent it ahead of time. They said, thank you. We're loading the trailer now. They brought it to the garage. They dumped it off, sent me a picture, and I said, pleasure doing business with you.
And you know, the sad part about that is that high trust society stuff, I know you're cultivating it and it's good and it's nice to see, but all it takes is one. All it takes is one of those for you to sour and start meeting in front of the police station. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the rules of the road. But you made a judgment and it worked.
But we're trying to live in the new paradigm, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Our next video is a guy who's mad at Target because Target got rid of their DEI programs.
So y'all finna start discriminating us? Huh? Is y'all finna start discriminating us? So y'all telling me if I want a job here, I can't work here if y'all don't like me? That's what y'all telling me? Don't say nothing, officer. Hello? Y'all finna start discriminating us, Target? This what we doing? Is this what we doing? Y'all quiet in this motherfucker. Where the workers at? I got kids. I need a job in this motherfucker, man. What's going on? Y'all finna follow Trump?
I need a job. So it's like that. You need a job in this motherfucker. You're not going to get one going in like that. And then you're also hassling like the minimum wage retail workers.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like the woman you're yelling, where are the workers at? The one lady they showed is like a little Hispanic woman.
Yeah. She's working like it's supplemental income for like her while her husband goes to work. Like it's barely like nobody's in charge here. And the funniest thing is this guy has a very loose understanding of what DEI is. And it's like, do you think Target's not hiring any black people to work in their stores again? No. Yeah. They're just not making a whole department about it and putting you on posters. And
they're just not giving preferential treatment to people who apply based on their race, which is interesting because the group they were giving preferential treatment to was also the group that was disproportionately stealing from them all this time.
That's true.
But they looked past that and were still giving everyone a job. And then you come in like this and you think that Target's discriminating you. I need a motherfucking job. Well, if it was last week, sir, we would have had you start on Monday.
You would have had the job. And, you know, at a certain point, this black guy, social media black guy who got pushed into a corner, doesn't feel like he has a job anymore. What do when you're backed into a corner? You freak out at a retail store, right?
And you film yourself doing it.
That's classic. That's kind of par for the course.
That'll get you out of the hole.
Yep.
All right, moving on. We have some good news and bad news from some of our major cities. Our good news for the day is for the first time in 30 years, New York City went 5 days without a reported shooting victim.
Wow.
Reported, but...
Yeah. Someone's nursing a wound in an empty warehouse like a Quentin Tarantino movie somewhere.
Yeah, with a fentanyl overdose or something.
But still pretty good.
That's pretty good. 5 days.
Yeah.
Very nice, New York City.
And that means the illegals aren't shooting each other. I think the illegals are being quiet. So then the urban African Americans also stood down.
There's no one to shoot at as much.
No ethnic beefs anymore boiling over.
So that's the good news of the week. The bad news of the week is 52% of Philadelphia can't read.
52% of Philadelphia adults are functionally illiterate.
Go Birds, though.
ELGLES. Birds.
Isn't that
made it to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. That lady, the mayor, couldn't even spell, so I can't say I'm surprised. But yeah, 52% of adults in Philadelphia can't read.
Sorry,
I
Philly.
wonder which part of town that is. Maybe Kensington?
Yeah, I don't know Philly enough to get the bit, but I assume Kensington.
Maybe
is
those
pretty
guys that
affluent.
just stand like this for the whole day.
No.
I don't think they can read because they're stuck.
They read and they just give it up. No, they could read, but they gave it up.
Yeah.
There's like a retiring from reading.
It's like you can keep doing drugs every day, but you can't read anymore. And yeah, that one.
Give me that.
All right, our last piece of Urban Decay. Spirit Airlines updates dress code policy. Here's how South Florida flyers are reacting.
So South Florida Flyers is a new slur, euphemism?
It's a new kind of euphemism. And also another euphemism is like those who need to be reminded how to dress by enforcing a dress code.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's not because Spirit Airlines is all of a sudden becoming classy or a higher end airline. I just think the people's outfits from like Atlanta to Miami were so obnoxious and horrible and barely on their bodies that they had to kind of say something. It gets stinky too. If you're wearing a crop top and like yoga pants, like you smell.
Yeah, certain times, like if you're on a plane and you're a little sweaty, you wear a button down, you wear something, that's containment too. Like you're stinking it up, but it's going against you.
It's all inside.
It's refractive.
That's happening right now.
Yeah.
2 layers under here.
Every time I shoot the show, there's something. But and then here's from the body of the updated clothing policy. The low-cost airline headquartered in Dania Beach updated its contract of carriage outline restrictions on see-through clothing, exposed breasts or buttocks, other private parts, lewd or offensive clothing or tattoos, and bare feet. So it's just for like people who didn't know how to act in public.
What were you guys doing?
Yeah. And then somebody goes, here's this quote, and I'll read it in the voice that I think it was said in. It's just too many rules. People are just trying to get where they're going, said Rostaway J, a Spirit passenger. I feel like you shouldn't put rules on how people wear their clothes while flying. And it's just like tits, ass, disgusting feet, horrible offensive slurs.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all Spirit's asking. They're not asking for the moon and the stars.
You guys need shoes.
You need shoes and your tits are out. Please, you're not allowed to board.
You're wearing see-through clothing.
I know we're going to New Orleans from Atlanta, but you cannot get on like that.
It's going to be a party, but let's wait till we get there.
So those damn South Florida Flyers.
Yep, they'll do it. All right, well, that's the end of Urban Decay. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold. Don't get too down or too depressed. It's Uplifting Gold time. Our first clip from Uplifting Gold is this old guy hooping.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ah! Hell no! Hell no! We can't have it. Where you get them gym shoes? From your sister? Where the hell you get that shit?
Drop his ass. Hey, Hezzy!
You had 2, but you can't get 3. No, you can't get 3.
Still got it.
You're still trying.
You never lost the competitive spirit. You love to see it.
I respect that, yeah.
Our next guy adopted a dog who likes to do something, and he's letting him do it.
How long does she do? 35 minutes right now. But she started 5 years ago when we adopted her. The first times I tried to, I don't like that. And I say, okay, Gemma, just stop. But she keep licking. And now, grazie Jenny, I just enjoy it. It's relaxing.
Oh, he likes it.
The dog won.
The dog won. The dog likes what he likes. Don't fight him on it. He thinks he's giving you like a gift or he's helping.
Yeah. I wonder what that does. I wonder what that does to a head, to a man's head.
Oh, to a man's head, I don't know. To the dog's mouth, I think he likes the taste. And it's also like sometimes Jerry will like sleep with my shoes or socks near his mouth and nose. So he's like breathing in my smells while he sleeps, and he likes that.
It's a little gay.
Because it reminds him of me. I think it's the same thing. It's like you're eating the thing you like the most. This guy who you love, like you're eating him.
Fucking Caesar the dog whisperer over here.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Caesar Milan.
Speaking of dogs working and helping, this dog works and helps on a farm.
I'll never have another dog like Buck. Whatever I'm doing, he tries to see how he can help.
He's just always looking at us, waiting for something and trying to figure out. The Amazon delivery guy will leave packages at the gate, and right away he will grab them. As young puppies, like they just pick up your shoe, or they pick up anything that is left on the ground. When I would see him pick up anything, I would encourage him to bring it to me. His first real big thing helping is when I put the garbage outside, and he picked up that bag and carried it with me. He just watched, because whether I'm doing gardening, he will then go and get anything that's related to gardening. When we first moved here, we hatched our own eggs. He started, coming to the front door, and he would just be standing there holding it gently in his mouth. You're so good. After that, Buck really took over. A lot of times now, no matter what it is, the puppy's like, oh, wow, what have you got? And Buck's like, this is not a toy. This is work, and I'm helping.
That's what I like. He's helping.
He's a grinder.
That's what you need on the farm.
That's why I don't respect cultures who don't like dogs.
That's a good point.
Dogs are pure. Man's best friend.
He helps. Look at that kind heart that dog has.
You think that was based on nothing? Man's best friend?
Dog backwards is God.
Well, that has nothing to do with it.
Dogs are
that's
angels.
Elon Musk shit.
Dogs are angels with no wings.
All right,
moving on. You never heard that?
Nah, you ruined it.
Hey, I was being nice. We all love dogs. All right, our next clip. This is pretty cool. This guy, he is in a tornado warning zone, and all the sirens from all the towns nearby are going off, and then they lined up.
That one time, all the tornado sirens in my neighborhood accidentally harmonized.
I'm in the middle of about 4 sirens, so it may have been that 4 sirens were going off perfectly. Seriously, this is crazy. I'm in awe.
Isn't that cool?
Kind of. Brother, there's a tornado bearing down on you.
Everyone's
not beautiful.
Everyone is warning you about something that's coming. Yeah. But there is something interesting about that. And then also there is a line of thought that talks about how bells were actually really good for people. Like the frequency of a bell and the sound of a bell is really good for you. And then that's why they took them all out, like after World War II, all the churches, like there's no bells anymore. But entire towns used to have bells that all day would be ringing. And then that chime and that ringing, like it kind of unites everybody and it gives you a nice frequency and makes you feel good, maybe kills the parasites. Who knows how it works.
Okay.
All right, our next clip is our last clip of the whole show. It's my favorite clip from Uplifting Gold. This kid's riding a little mini horse.
Hey, don't take off so fast there, cowboy.
He's too fast. Go in a
I don't care.
Jagger. Don't take off so fast. Slow.
Don't take off so fast. Ease off.
Yeah, you don't blast off. We're not at the NFR.
Hey,
you don't blast off and he immediately blasts off.
He's got his little gun, little fake gun.
That's cool. That's Americana.
Yep.
Think about how cool that would be.
I like horses. I never grew up with any, never had access, too fat to ride horses now. If you can't put 235, 240 on the back of a horse, what would you be putting on the back of a horse?
I have a lot of stuff I have a lot of luggage and things. I'm always bringing stuff with me.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to do that to a
My
horse.
rucksack.
But I encourage anyone, if from a young age, if you have horse access, foster it,
Especially like a mini horse, that's easy to take care of. And then the real horses are like, all this money and all this stuff. You get like a donkey or a mini horse, you just feed it. What do you feed the dog?
I don't think that's true.
It's just like a big dog. You clean up the shit and you let it run around and you feed it the dog food.
Sure.
All right, we have some shout outs and some doppels and some good stuff. First is Roger O'Neill, show watching at like thousands of feet in the air in an airplane.
Yeah, what kind of aircraft is that?
I don't know. He flies it himself though.
Very nice.
That's cool.
It's a good name too. Roger O'Neill, you said? Come on. Strong.
Captain O'Neill.
Captain O'Neill.
Yeah, that is cool. And that's the kind of hobbies our show watchers have.
Yeah.
We're not stupid streamer audience where we watch me go, throw a big gulp back at the register at 7-Eleven and we go, ha ha. We're smart people.
Yeah.
We're smart people.
We can do all the flight instruments. We can manage the flight instruments.
Yeah, you can trust people. People can trust you with their life to go fly an airplane. And
we know how to communicate with air traffic control, all that stuff. That's all of us.
That's all of us. All right, next, someone saw what looks like me and Richard Ratboy playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, this is a good one.
And then he...
that's definitely you, and that's kind of me.
Yeah.
It's 100% you, 20% me.
And then he said, afternoon, Richard, and received a sir and a head nod. So I guess it was Richard. All right, is that the last thing we have here?
Yeah.
All right, well, we do have some shout-outs because it is the end of the episode. Congrats to Dylan and Stephanie. They got married over the weekend, and it was Stephanie's birthday on the 26th. They're major show watchers here in Florida. Congrats on the wedding.
Congratulations, guys.
God bless you guys. Good luck. And we have a happy birthday shout-out to Harley. Her birthday was back on January 6th, but reverse shout-out to her husband, Mr. Nelson, for forgetting to send that in.
Happy birthday, reverse shout-out.
Yeah, your wife is very disappointed, Mr. Nelson. Harley, try to forgive him. By next year, he'll do the right thing, hopefully, in the future. Sorry that happened to you. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, I actually have never been in a relationship like that where someone would disrespect me so badly. So I can't even relate. So I don't know what you should do, but we'll get you next year. Hopefully he will.
If your significant other isn't sending in your birthday shout out to the podcast,
I don't know.
Bye-bye.
I don't know.
All right, happy birthday to Becky's boyfriend, Jake.
Wow. Oh, why'd you say Becky's boyfriend? Oh,
I don't
context.
know. Just some
Might be
context.
more-
There's a lot of Jakes. Right. She forgot, but it's not too late to miss a birthday shout out, so it's no big deal.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jake.
Happy birthday, Jake, from Becky. A little late, but you got it done. No big deal. And then happy birthday to Michael Dudor on January 27th. He's a show watcher from the beginning and a major bonus lander.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy birthday, Michael. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckisTalks.com for a bonus land, 30-minute bonus land dropping right now. If you guys like the show and you're watching to this point, wouldn't you want to watch another 30-minute episode, maybe tomorrow? And then on Friday, that 30-minute bonus line episode, you can maybe watch on Saturday or Sunday or Monday, and then the new episode comes out on Tuesday. You can have a 4-day-a-week Fleckis Talks the podcast routine if you join bonus land. Hours and hours of back. I think it's days at this point. I'll probably watch a whole day of just bonus land backlog. So please sign up. FleckisTalks.com is the website. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. We'll see you on Friday.
He's ruining my life, her life, and the life of every single immigrant in this country.